Machine's in the clear, starting to come on now and chase these leaders down, and they're followed by Raspberries and High Bell from Twilighting and Chopaholic. Miss Delabelle, the leader. Machine, here's her moment now. She's been asked to go out after Miss Delabelle, who clings on. Miss Delabelle, but Machine at the 100. She really answers the call. Hits the lead for Hall, and Machine is back to win by about a length on the line.
Yeah, she's an outstanding mare, and I don't know whether she's read the papers about her old mate Danny Nikolic, but I dare say she's not too happy about what's going on. But United there with Nick Hall, you're laughing there, Zaraf. What?
I just wonder if the Machine's picked up the Herald Sun while she's having a feed
I think
of
horses know.
oats.
Mate, I reckon horses know. If they're sticking, if they different ones on.
Don't underestimate them, Russ.
That'll do me.
Where she goes to the Emirates? Is there another race?
I think the Maya Classic is where she probably.
Your Maya Classic.
Group 1.
She'll go towards the Mayor's Path along there, and that's perfectly placed by Robert Smood.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look at the next race that we're going to have a look at is the 1,000 Guineas and the wash-up from the weekend. Now, Norzita is the favourite for the 1,000 Guineas, Bart Cummings' horse.
Steamed in, yep.
Effectively, has had 2 wins to a name. She's now at around $4.20 for the 1,000 Guineas.
Yep.
I did the stats this morning. Cannot find a horse that's won the Flight Stakes that's gone on to win the 1,000 Guineas in the last 30 years.
Yeah,
I don't know how many have been in it.
You'd be about to change, wouldn't it?
Raspberries? I don't know. The thing with Norzita is she's already had 6 runs this preparation. She's now got to have a float trip to Melbourne.
First time around Caulfield.
And can she fire at a 7th run? I know she was very explosive here, and Bart Cummings had given her easy time leading into this race to sort of make sure she was right. But I think going to Melbourne might be a bit of a different story. But she does look very good.
She's hard to make a case around her, but isn't it?
For me, it's hard to line them up. I think the perfect thing was the graphic. You said 1,000 Guineas puzzle, because it is a puzzle. There's so many different pieces, so many different form lines. I can't even line up the Melbourne horses, let alone throwing in the Sydney ones.
Well, More Strawberries was similar, and they backed the pants off her, and she got beat. But here's the one I like, maybe Discreet. Why isn't she the favourite? I don't understand. She's beaten plenty of the horses here that she's going to face again in the 1,000 Guineas. And I think the 2 to beat are South Australian horses, Molto Bene and maybe Discreet. If you have a look here, she's very strong over the last 200 metres, and she holds off Members Joy and Commanding Jewel, who are right, at the top of the market with her.
Commanding Jewel. Talk about an overrated horse.
Yes.
Although we've mentioned,
really?
she's not. It's just because
of
of
relation.
Yeah,
exactly.
the
We've said,
What's the
that
horse
before.
running 4th there, gents, in that race? Quinny, is it the Snowden runner or the Darley runner?
If we, I've just missed
Zydeco or something?
Oh yes, that was a very impressive run. Flew home. I took the $8 the place, so that was nice. That is that's the Anthony Friedman horse. I reckon will be winning the Crown Oaks at this stage.
Okay, well let's just have a look at those. There it is, there, $21 in the 1,000 Guineas. Now, going back to the front page of that, you talk about 1,000 Guineas in the past. We've had horses that have been in form that have won it, like Atlantic Jewel. And there was another Coolmore horse from Irish Lights, remember it?
Oh, yeah, it was going good at
Love
the time.
for Ransom going average. Molto Bene placing, but not winning. Commanding Jewel, no. Maybe Discreet winning. Dear Demi, no. Dazzler. Lady of Harrods won 2 in a row, and yet it's a $13 chance.
It's one of these races that the barriers are going to make a big difference, and who gets the right run in transit, the way the race pans out on the day. Because I don't think there's maybe a length or 2 between all those fillies. And it's just going to come down to the best rider who's going to win on the day. I couldn't have a bet in the race.
Any interest in your John?
Well, not a lot, because it is a bit tricky. But Norzita's charged into favourite, I think, and rightly so. You mentioned, Dear Demi was plain to the line, I guess.
I don't think she's going to come down for the 1,000 Guineas anyway. No,
that was always the plan.
Sometimes when you haven't got too many horses, you've got to have a throw at the stumps, and
but I couldn't
maybe
rule her out.
change of
Clary
scenery.
Connors always said that was the path, going here, then there.
She was $3.30 out to $5 on Saturday. I walked into the press room and said to you, she lost a leg, and you and Ronnie both looked at me and said something's wrong. But she was pretty.
I know something's wrong, but I think that's just she's running up to form. She's probably looking for the 2,000 metres now, but. Interesting race, the 1,000.
Luxbet have Zydeco $10 to win the Crown Oaks in early betting, so you can go in there and sniff around a bit of value there. Now, let's have a look at some more racing from the weekend. Team Williams helps the punters. If you took the shorts, Moran, or if you're silly enough to bail out when you missed the price, like you know who.
It wasn't really that short. They top flucked at 350. I think that's
280.
Backable,
350 into 260. I think I was out by then. Gee, mind you were having heart attacks down the straight.
It was just a brilliant ride by Hugh Bowman. He took the bull by the horns at about the 1,000 metre mark. He served it up to Herculean Prince. You can see there puncturing back on the inside. This horse doesn't have a big turn of foot, and he had to really get him into a grind.
Yeah.
Western Symbol was good, but the horse out of that to follow was Dare to Dream.
And here's your one, Nick, Tanby.
Yeah, Tamby, good to see him get back to the winners list. It was a fantastic ride. Admittedly, he was aided with the late scratching of Exceptionally, who'd been 460 into 230 with Luxbet to win the race. But Tamby didn't have a lot of luck at Moonee Valley last start, and we stuck fat in his bounce back, Russ.
Good to see, Tamby.
And by the
Good to
way,
see.
if you got the scratching of Exceptionally, the sub was Tanby.
Yeah,
But if you'd left it out, you'd still
You
would have got
beauty.
your money back.
So lightweight little chance for the Cup.
It'd have to
Tanby?
win something to get in
To get
between
in,
now
yeah.
and then. But it ran second in the Geelong Cup last year,
Yep.
so who's to say it can't
It's
go one
going
way?
Behind
to
a
the
fair horse.
Lexus.
Look, it's,
It'll
yeah.
go to the Lexus. They'll try and pinch a start like they've done with
51,
the
yeah.
horses in the previous one.
Very
Well,
nice
Lucky
start.
Day was a good run.
Oh, he
Very
was
good,
good.
very
Only a
good.
couple of runs back, and he's stepping up in trip again. He loves Flemington. Hopefully he gets back to his best, because he showed in that Melbourne Cup where he runs second that he's certainly a very good star.
A very good friend of mine who currently is a very slow runner for the Sydney Swans and might have kicked 4 goals in the final quarter against Geelong one time. You don't want to start that conversation because you'll never stop. Sent me this. I don't know whether it was him or his wives, but Murray and Faulkner, Tanby,
Four
Green
prong.
Moon.
Oh.
What about that?
Little sling for Nick Williams coming there.
$198.72 for the $10. He did cop a 25% deduction, though, courtesy of our great mates at the Jolly Green Giant.
Oh, but that's fair enough.
You got to cop
Yeah.
a
You got to
deduction,
cop
yeah.
that. That's
Well on the
what
market,
happens.
yeah. Good work.
And if you were keen on the favourites across the weekend, rather than show you the tally, we're just going to show you how you would have done on the weekend. What were the punters like on the weekend?
Well, there wasn't much between it. There was highs where there were surges, it was up and down, but what have we got here? Total both Sydney and Melbourne.
Yeah, but that's since September 1, so we're
that's
going
the
back.
run. So
In
up
Sydney,
1,000.
you went all right.
Yeah, so in Melbourne you won 5,800,
Right.
and in Sydney you won 900, but over the last month and a quarter you
Nearly 6K.
Pants
Melbourne.
are down.
Yeah, but you're bouncing back. You're sort of coming back going, yeah, we've had a winning Saturday and the wheel's turning.
Yeah.
And
You
I
got-
was
you
very
got to ride the flux
I
here.
was very technical. Philippi and one other runner in that race sort of flipped in the last couple of seconds, and Philippi actually started second favourite. So technically, you probably got equal favourite, maybe got 5,000 back in there. So I tell you what's flying is shares out the door of our Grand Syndicates team. We've sold 15 shares in a couple of weeks. All shares are $1,000, $6 a day training bills. You're watching the ads across the show, you know what we're talking about. It's a really good option because if you don't want to pay and you've had enough, you just say, right, I'm done. You pay up what you owe and then you're out. So you don't have to keep going even when you don't really want to. You might be able to afford it or whatever. So it's a really good idea. Get onto the website, grandsyndicates.com.au. You can join me in the Hidden Dragon filly. We've got one with Luke Oliver, and there's pictures of the Reduced Choice if you're in that as well, all on the website as we head to a break on Talkin Thru Your Kick.